to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith, here tonight with Tom Albert and Tyler Wolkowitz. We are here at Frontier Regional Track and Field for a girls soccer face-off between the Frontier Redhawks and the Easthampton Eagles. It looks like they're already lining up for the starting lineups, so we will go down onto the field and be back up here in just a moment for the opening kickoff.
Good evening, and welcome to Frontier Regional for tonight's game between the Eagles of Easthampton and the Redhawks of Frontier Regional. Tonight's starting lineup for the Eagles is number 10, Addison Barr. Number 4, Amelia Bach. Number 25, Gianna Covalli. Number 11, Reagan Delisle. Number 15, Kylie Dorman. Number 8, Ari Kuit. Number 18, Brenna Myers. Number 9, Liv O'Neill Garvey. Number 20, Christine Raymond. Number 5 is Sonia Romero. And number 2, Simone Young. And the coach for the Eagles is Brian Miller. And now the starting lineup for your Frontier Regional Redhawks. Number 18, Josie Fosno. Number 11, Claire McFarland. Number 15, Maddie Fagan. Number 6, Addie Moray. Number 16, Addie Ely. Number 10, Skylar Steele. Number 8, Jazzy Hayes. Number 4, Peyton Roop. Number 13, Carly Robertson. Number 0, Aylin Shaw. Number 14, Amara Allam. And your coaches for the Redhawks are Lauren Sullivan, Andy Robertson, and Tom Johnson. At this time, we ask everyone to please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. We are just a few moments away from the opening kickoff of this second meeting between these two teams in this season. The last time that Easthampton and Frontier met, Frontier took the win at Easthampton's home stadium 3-1. It was one of the closer games that these Red Hawks have played so far this year. They are 9-1 coming into this game, on top of their conference, but because of some technicalities in the ratings of the other teams that they've played, Tom, they are currently ranked 34th in their division.
Yep.
On the other side of the pitch is Easthampton, who is 7-1 coming into this game. Their only loss being to the Red Hawks back at the start of September. That was on September 11th is the last time that these two teams played. And one of the big storylines we're going to be looking at tonight, Tom, is the goalies. We have number 10 in goal tonight for the Eagles. That is Addison Barr. She's a senior. And on the other end of the field is Aylin Shaw, number 23, who's a freshman.
Oh,
so
wow.
we've got a big age difference in each goal tonight, and we'll see if that might affect the score and eventually the outcome of this game. The Hawks will start off with the ball after the coin toss, and it's moved forward, trying to get it to Skylar Steele, and a pass back from the Eagles defense, cleared up to midfield and let out of bounds by Peyton Rupp. Coming back in for the throw-in just around midfield. Header from Fosno on the near side. And out of bounds on the Eagles. Steele will take the throw-in. Hurries it up to the middle to Maddie Fagan. Fagan takes the ball away from the Eagles and a pass back. Sent forward, trying to get it to Steele. It finds its way to Fosno. Centering pass, a little too far for Fagan. It's a shame no one was right in the middle of the box there, Tom. That was an open shot if they could have gotten someone there.
Yeah, Frontier, they would have had a good opportunity to score if they had someone there.
And the last game that we covered, last soccer game we covered on this field, was a quick scoring one for the Red Hawks. That was the boys' team's 7-1 win against Lee, if I remember right. No, not Lee. I'm mixing up the colors. That's what I'm doing. Well, who was it?
I'll
We'll figure it out. But now turning the corner and cleared out by the Eagles. Hawks have pretty much been in their offensive zone this entire time so far this game.
It was against Lennox.
Lennox? Okay. It was an L, and I was close enough.
Yeah.
So the Hawks take a free kick from around midfield, and it's sent back past Claire McFarland, and the pass back to Shaw will be booted forward off the chest. That was Delisle who tried to move it forward for the Eagles. Throw in for Easthampton, and it lands out of bounds.
I wonder why they're giving you another throw in here, but
That is a good question. I'm not sure. She ricochets the ball back forward, almost gets by the back line, and now it's sent forward to midfield, looking for Fosno, and there to cover it for the Eagles is Sonia Romero, whose sister, I have to assume, Eva Romero, is out for the game. She would have been on the back line, but she has a boot on her foot. Not sure what the injury is, but it seems like Sonia will be covering for Eva in this game. Ely moves it forward on the far side. Deflected pass from the Eagles. That was Simone Young on the ball. And now taken away from the Red Hawks is Amelia Bach. She's going to pass it back to Young. And now forward, rides up the body of Addie Mori, who runs into one of the other players as she gets it up to Maddie Fagan. Fagan, cross pass, and Fosno is there. Her centering pass is off the chest of the back line, and Steele can't quite get her foot on it. Moving it forward for the Eagles now. Reagan Delisle once again trying to pass it up to her teammate, but it's deflected out by the Redhawks, and some miscommunication there is going to send the ball back. A bit of messy play in the midfield from both teams right now, Tom. No one seems to be able to get a concerted effort to either end of the field after Frontier's dominant opening. And now it's sent forward for Fagan, cleared back out to midfield.
Yes, Mason, it's just like a bit of a ping pong match back and forth here.
Yeah, and a big issue that I think we could be seeing developing, especially later on in the night if it continues, is a bit of a lack of communication. We just saw Fosno pass it behind Rupp, who that's where she was a few seconds ago, but didn't call for the ball, didn't say she was going to pass it to her. And, you know, having that connection with your teammates is really important when you have a game that could potentially be even closer than the last, which already was a 2-goal game. Much closer than a lot of other games that this girls team has played. Their biggest win, of course, we've talked about it a few times, against Mahar, 15-0. That was their second game of the season. Probably the biggest win I've ever seen in a soccer match. And now the passing chain broken up by a bad touch from Kuwait. And now just still a lot of short passes in their own end. And Rupp touches, she almost kicked it out of bounds. I mean, she did kick it out of bounds. It looked like she took her eye off of it and it just drifted away from her. Wow.
Yeah, and that gives Easthampton a good opportunity here.
And the throw-in will end up back with Romero. Battle in midfield. Sent forward, Shaw will be on it. Shaw, 3 or 4 years, the junior, yeah, that is the right word, the junior of the goalie on the other end of the field for Easthampton. And now Frontier moves it up the far side. Jazzy Hayes gets there, cuts back, gets a little bit of room, and is going to send it forward, a little bit behind Skylar Steele, but Fosno's there to compensate. The middle, and now back to Fosno, who called for it and can't stop it as it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Frontier had a good chance there, but just good defense from the Eagles.
Yeah. Not a lot of risky plays that the defense has been making on either end, but they've been holding strong and haven't really been faltering so far. That's Barr taking the goal kick, and now it's sent back in her direction by the Redhawks. And that's Ely on the far side to calm the ball down and send it forward. That's Fagan with it now. Fagan looking for Steele, who now gets in a foot race. Can't quite get to the ball, but she touches it over to Fosno. Fosno stuck on the sideline and now gets it over to Fagan. Looks for the center, and it's blocked by number 25 of the Eagles, chested down by the Redhawks. And now they're going to pull the switch. And a nice touch to keep it in from Jazzy Hayes, sent into the middle. Fosno might have an opening, and she loses the ball, can't quite get it back. Still fighting for it. Down goes the defender in the box, and the Eagles will clear it out in a dire situation. And they might turn into an offensive chance too, but a nice clear from Addie Morey. And the throw-in will be for the Redhawks on the near side of the field, just above the box.
Yeah, Frontier with a good chance here. They just got to get through the Eagles' defense.
And Rivard sends it forward. They've been doing a decent job of penetrating the defense so far, Tom. It's just they aren't able to find that centering pass. They've been looking for it in the middle for several times now, and they're just That's where Easthampton seems to be strong. That's where they're shutting them down, right on that final step. And now a whistle is blown.
This is going to be a huge free kick for the
Eagles, and I don't know if all of the Frontier players quite realized exactly what the call was. They're now just getting into formation. How many of them do they want to commit to a wall? And currently unguarded on the near side is Amelia Bach. Closest player to her is Josie Fosno. 2 players ready to take it for the Eagles. And it's a touch sent wide by Reagan Delisle. Now that, I understand the choice, Tom, but I was looking over at Bach the whole time. She had a 2-on-1 opportunity in her favor on the near side of the field, and she could have had a great opportunity for a clear shot at the goal. It's a shame for the Eagles that they didn't read that.
Yeah.
And now they're still on the offensive. Throw-in from Romero, intercepted by Steele, and a bad pass will be turned the other way by Delisle. Shaw, a great play to take a chance away from the Eagles. And Hayes slows that one down. Plenty of credit to Hayes, who is playing midfield tonight, and some of you might be able to see the black brace that's on her right wrist. She had an injury there towards the start of the season and has been playing midfield ever since. But she's putting in a lot of work, and Steele is called for a handball. It will go the other way. She is shocked by that.
Yeah, she's not happy with that call.
And that's going to kill a great opportunity for the Hawks on offense. Fagan clears it out. Excuse me, Maury. Pass to the inside, being broken up by the Red Hawks. Robertson was on the ball, and now it's sent all the way down the field into the corner. Will be a Red Hawks throw-in. Right at the corner.
You got 2 subs coming in.
It's number 20, Maggie Nichols. Number 24, Sadie Nichols. Fosno and Allium will take a rest on the bench. 28 minutes to go in the first half. No score on the board. And Steele fighting for it off of the throw-in. Fagan gets there first. Steele, and the pass is behind Fagan. And that's the communication that we were talking about just in the few first minutes of this game, Tom. There was a similar play, but it was meant to be a defensive pass. That could have started to play along the sideline. That could have turned into an offensive opportunity for the Hawks.
You're exactly right, Mason. They just got to read each other.
Yeah, and those are the missteps that ultimately can end up costing you some goals, or at least some chances that could otherwise lead to goals. And that's a nice play from Skylar Steele along the sideline. A little shove, and now up to Fagan. Popped up. Going to come down in front of Maggie Nichols, who will let it go out, and the call goes for the Eagles. Taking the throw-in will be Sonia Romero. Off the stomach of Addie Maury. Romero again. And Maury again. Sending it up to Sadie Nichols, who can't quite find Maggie. Another throw-in for Easthampton, this time in slightly better position. Or no, it's going to go for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, I think there was a foul on the play there, so give, or no. Or yeah,
yes,
it will be a foul.
Yeah. So it'll be a free kick in their defensive end for the Red Hawks. 2 subs waiting on deck for Frontier, Peyton Rupp and Callie Gifford, as the ball is sent down and back out of bounds will be a throw-in for the Red Hawks. Maury was the one who took that free kick as Rupp comes in for Ely, and Gifford will come in for Hayes. 2 substitutions on the far side of the field for Frontier. Big wind-up, and the throw-in goes a little too far for Steele as she waited for it to come down, and Romero capitalized on the hesitation. Sent to the far side and out of bounds will be the Red Hawks throw-in. Now an Easthampton sub, Mackenzie Coffey, the freshman midfielder, waiting in the wings. A free kick for the Eagles. And since Frontier's strong start, Tom, we haven't seen a clear, stretch of possession for anyone, really.
It's really just been back and forth. I mean, right now you can't really tell who's kind of dominating. It's just between the midfielders.
Yeah, both teams seem a little uncertain, trying to get their bearings a little bit, but now a chance for the Eagles perhaps, as that ball is cleared out by Maury on the far side. And it will be a throw-in at level with the box for the Eagles. Coming into play is Coffey, and the throw-in headed down by the Red Hawks. A nice touch, and they'll start to clear it out. That's Maggie Nichols trying to make a play, and whistle is blown. Free kick is the call, I have to assume.
Yeah, maybe it was an offsides call.
That's likely. He's holding his hand up. In the professional league, they'd have the little checkered flag that they would throw up, so I suppose that's their substitute. Lateral pass, and now back to Maury. Up the field over the head of Steele, who now gets the back pass from Easthampton. Looking for the cross. Fagan gets the ball as it squirts between the legs of a defender. The centering pass from Gifford, is cleared out. Steele still trying to make something happen. Back with the midfielders now. And Sadie can't quite get there in time. Maggie can't get there in time. Throw in for the Eagles. And that's where a lot of momentum is getting lost, Tom. You're seeing a lot of balls go out of bounds and a lot of throw-ins happening, and that's stopping a lot of momentum from either team.
Yeah, it seems like whenever one team has momentum, they'll just kick it out of bounds, and it'll be another throw-in.
Yeah, and Steele sends it past Maggie, and that's exactly what you just said. I mean, it's a defensive tactic that definitely can work and mentally can leave an impression on a team, but at a certain point it gets so much more ineffective than just sending it back down the field. I mean, the formation that the Eagles are playing is not really lending them to that strategy very much. They have one player down at the end of the field. I mean, if you look at the formation that they have, it looks like they have a 4-3-2-1 is what it looks like it is if you can count the players going up. 4 on the back line, 3 in the middle back, and then they have 2 kind of floating around up there, and then their 1 striker all the way at the top. And the shot goes wide to the right from Skylar Steele, and now the student section has gotten big enough where all the guys down there feel comfortable starting a chant. 22 minutes to go as Addison Barr will size up the goal kick, send it to the near side, and it's touched down by Maggie Nichols. Steele brings it inside. Some good control from the Eagles to move it past midfield. That was Simone Young on the ball, and now she finds Bach on the near side. Bach up against the Hawks back line now, And same tactic we saw from the Eagles, play it safe and just get it out of bounds. And now they'll have a fresh start with their defenders in position.
Yeah, I mean, you see it working for both teams, so it's good strategy.
Yeah, it definitely slows things down a lot and can pace the game in a way that's more comfortable for some of these players. It's not the kind of soccer that we might be used to if you tune in more for the boys' soccer games, as they tend to just launch it down the field a little bit more. Eagles move it in the wrong direction, and now the Hawks will capitalize on that movement. Robertson takes it to midfield, pops it up, and she's going to have to track it back. Can't win the ball there against Delisle, and now she deflects the clear. Staying with it is Young, and they can't quite get it up to their striker, Hewitt. That's Sadie. Finds Maggie Nichols. Maggie up to Steele, a great pass, and Steele just comes up a little bit short, and it will go out of bounds, throw in for the Red Hawks. 4 subs come in for Frontier. Hayes, Fosno, that's Layla Brown, number 7, and number 5, Faith Sobieski. And something we haven't mentioned quite yet, Tom, well, touched on a little bit with the goalies, but Frontier's team is significantly younger than Easthampton's team. Frontier has several 8th graders that are on their varsity squad.
Oh, wow.
Including Faith Sobieski, who just checked in. Number 5 on the field, and she's right on the front line. I mean, the faith and the depth that Frontier has in this team, and that will be a handball on Hewitt. The depth that Frontier has, I think, is one of the big reasons why they've been so confident and dominant so far this year in their games. Because they can keep those fresh legs on the field for such a long time because they can just rotate and rotate and rotate. And now another sub in the wings for the Red Hawks. It's Addie Ely. Brown receives the pass. It jumps up to her chest, waiting for someone downfield, and she finds Fagan, who loses the ball back to Delisle. Almost sends it up to Noella Ryan. Hayes up to the far side, and Fosno can't get there. Thrown will be for Easthampton. Romero takes the throw in, headed out by Fosno.
Got about 18 minutes left to go in the first half.
And we don't really have a ball boy on the near side of the field here, I'm noticing. We've got one on the far side, standing over by our photographer. But now it's just resulting in some longer wait times for the ball to get back. Now a centering pass, loose in front of the goal, and it's scooped up by Addison Barr.
Yeah, Frontier had a good opportunity there, but just unfortunate they couldn't get a shot off.
Yeah, Fagan was getting pretty close, but just not fast enough. Hayes passed back to Maggie. And now the feed forward, not quite close enough to Hayes. And McFarland can't stop the forward drive, but her teammate will get there first. It's Rupp, Peyton Rupp, losing the one-on-one, and her pass goes right back to Hewitt. Easthampton now with a chance. Delisle, stutter step, getting by Sadie, and the shot is kicked away by Shaw, still loose in front of the box, trying to get an opening. Delisle wants to wind up again, and Brown comes up with the ball for the Red Hawks, sends it forward for Jazzy Hayes. Hayes taps it back and out of bounds.
Yeah, Easthampton had a good opportunity to score, but just were unfortunate. Frontier's defense were able to stop them.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great effort there, very well executed, and I mean, they weren't scrambling for anything at all. Frontier's ball for a free kick is the call from the ref. Ely will check in and give the senior captain, Claire McFarland, a bit of a rest. 2 headers there from the Redhawks, and Hayes will pick it up. Pass forward, intercepted. That's Ryan on the ball, and now Hayes wins it back off of a deflection by her teammate. Pass forward, intercepted by Delisle, and it'll work its way into the box. Shaw will wave her teammates off and grab the ball. 15:30 on the clock, no score. Very much the opposite of what we saw from the boys' soccer game. And the punt finds its way up to midfield and sent right back just outside the box. Shaw backpedals as she can't get to it and will be, I think the call was Frontier?
Yeah, Frontier thrown.
Ref was just gesturing like every which way, and I couldn't tell what he meant by it. Now pass into the middle. Not a hawk in sight there. And now Hayes with it. Hayes sends it down the field and cleared back out of their defensive zone. Ely will take the throw in for the Redhawks as a couple subs come in, including Skylar Steele coming back on, and Maddie Fagan will be taking a rest on the bench. Hewitt for the Eagles will take a breather as well. Throw in from the Eagles, overstep by the midfielder, and now Hayes trying to capitalize. Hayes works the inside. Up against Delisle, Jazzy Hayes, a stutter step and leaves it hanging for one of her teammates who barely gets there before it goes out of bounds, and Fosno now in position to receive the forward pass. A blocked pass by the Eagles, and Delisle sends it forward for her striker, Maury. One touch and she passes it forward. That's Allium. Up to midfield now are the Hawks, and they work it back for a little bit of room. Rupp. And now Hayes on the far side.
And Frontier fans had a nice chant there.
Maury, and now over to Brown on the near sideline. Layla Brown loses the ball, grappling, and now Fosno the other way. Steele trying to pass it right back, and it's cleared out to the middle, picked up by Rupp, who loses it herself. And now Easthampton has a 3-on-4 rush, and the pass gets intercepted. Another bad pass. The execution of the passes from both teams so far, Tom, has been rough, to say the least.
Yeah. I think it's just a little miscommunication from both teams.
Yeah, definitely, to say the least. I mean, I think that it can be some miscommunication. It can also be a little bit of nerves. I mean, both teams have some very strong records. They're definitely used to leading at this point in the game, I think I can say confidently.
Yeah.
And so the fact that it's still scoreless and we have 12 minutes left in the first half, that's got to be a little bit nerve-wracking for them. They aren't familiar with this sort of territory.
Yeah.
Ball is lost again by the Redhawks, and Rupp with a good clear and finds its way right in front of Skylar Steele, who will backstep, look forward. Fosno is there. Maybe an opening for the Hawks. To the sideline. Centering pass. Chip forward. Oh, and it's cleared out. What a beautiful play, and a clutch play by Gianna Cavalli.
Yeah,
that was a great job.
Yeah, Frontier, they had a really nice opportunity. It was just great defense there by Easthampton. I mean, to be able to clear that one out.
Yeah, I mean, great last-ditch effort. Exactly what you want to do. But now Redhawks back in a good position. with a corner kick. Going to be taken by Carly Robertson. Hand goes up from Robertson. Motion in the box.
Oh!
And, it jumped over the net. Or in front of it, excuse me. That was, it was wide open. We had it. The Hawks had about 5 players there ready to head it in.
Yeah.
And it just kind of skipped over all of them.
Yep. We'll give them another corner kick, though.
Yes, it will. It looks like Robertson will be the one to take it again. And here it comes. And through the crowd again, brought down by the Hawks. Eagles can't clear it out. Maury tries to send it in, and now it's out to Brown. Pass back to Rupp. Peyton Rupp takes the middle, sees an opening, and now back to Robertson. That gets intercepted and finds its way back to Peyton Rupp. Layla Brown is back now and sends it out of bounds. Some subs will come in for both teams. Natalie Wells for Sobieski. Yes, it's Sobieski coming off. And a throw in for the Eagles from their side of the midfield. Brown is there. Wells. And now on the far side, it's Hayes. Jazzy Hayes cuts inside, centers it, and Wells is there. Spin move, steal, putting her body in between the defender. And now an opening. Might look to the far side, and she does. Wells finds Hayes, and it gets between her legs. She recovers and sends it out of bounds. And it looks like it will be another corner for the Red Hawks, their third of the night, late in the first half. Under 10 minutes to go now.
Yep. Frontier has another good chance here. Hopefully they're able to capitalize on this corner kick.
And it will be Robertson to take it again. Hand goes up. Opposite formation from the Hawks, and it's cleared out immediately by the Eagles. And now trying to work it to the other side of the field is Easthampton. They clear the ball out to Layla Brown. Brown sends it right back in, and Hayes is right on top of it. Pass to the outside. Wind up, shot, and a save from Addison Barr. Looked like for a second it might go over her head.
Yeah, great save by Barr. And that would have given Frontier a 1-0 lead going into halftime if they were able to hold off for the next 8 minutes.
They've definitely had some more chances in these late minutes of the first half. But it's still just kind of stuck in the middle of their offensive zone. Still counting as offensive zone time for them,
Yeah.
of course, but not the kind of zone time that they really want. Fosno taking a water break on the bench right now. And Robertson moves it forward to Wells. Natalie Wells battling against Delisle, and it's cleared out by the Eagles. Rupp will let it go out of bounds. Quick windup. And Maggie Nichols brings it down. Over to Natalie Wells. Robertson, middle of the field, and now she finds Steele. Trying to pass it back, will go behind her, but Maggie recovers. Loose ball, and Robertson does not go for it. Wells recovers from the clear. Now back to Maggie. Robertson. Carly Robertson, wind up, looking for a man downfield, and into the Easthampton bench. Almost took a few heads off. started a little early for that cheer. But now Rupp gets it off. Maggie to Robertson. Carly Robertson looking forward. She's double teamed and gets it up to Steele, who loses it. Steele blocks a clear and now is behind the defense. Eagles can't complete the second pass that they needed to get an opening there, but now they might have another opportunity on the far side. It's Kylie Dorman. And the Hawks go back on offense. Steele takes it herself, and it's sent back out of the box. It's just been a lot of this, Tom. They rush forward, and then they're punched back. Rush forward, and they're punched back. They're relentless, and now down goes Jazzy Hayes. Pops right back up, but it will be a free kick for the Red Hawks. And they seem to get a big advantage off of these set plays here, but it ends up, not really counting for all that much if you just keep getting punched back. In theory, though, you're wearing the defense down. So we'll see what happens in the second half. And we still have a few minutes left here as a good save is made by Barr. 5 minutes left in the first half, and then we have 40 more to play in the second after a 10-minute halftime. Barr sends it out to midfield. Robertson evades the Eagles. Rupp won't get there, and a throw in for the Eagles. Timeout will be taken by Easthampton with 4:27 on the clock. They're going to take a quick break down on the field, and so will we. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith here with Tom Albert and Tyler Wolkowitz. 4:30 is on the clock for the first half in this bird fight between the Red Hawks and the Eagles of Easthampton. Throw-in will be taken by Romero. Finds a hole in the defense, but can't find an Eagle in the hole.
Frontier student section with a nice little chant there.
They've been getting active more or less in this game so far. I mean, they're just waiting for some kind of score change, really. And then we might end up seeing a few people on their feet here. Under 4 minutes now, up to Steele. Pass back. Robertson with the ball. Sends it to the far side. And it's Hayes who turns it around. Runs into Delisle, who will clear it out, and a Red Hawks throw-in. No, it's an Eagles throw-in. And Kylie Dorman has been on the ball a lot tonight. Number 15 on the field. She's in front of Hayes right now. And now Allium. Over to Rupp. Maggie Nichols with it now. Looking up the middle. All the way to the other side of the field. It's Hayes with it. Shot goes wide to the right. Thought it had a chance for a minute, but it got through the defense, and maybe that's just what the Hawks need to do. They're getting chances. They're getting moments with the ball, a little bit of distance outside of the box, and maybe you just need to take those long-range shots, Tom. Maybe they'll, if you can't really penetrate further with good chances, then maybe that's just what you need to end up doing to get on the board.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see the long shots work out for him.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably end up seeing in the second half as we close in under 2 minutes. That's Robertson fighting for the ball, and it's cleared out. McFarland heads it up to Ely, Addie Ely on the far side. Up the middle, and it's Skylar Steele with it. Trying to find Wells. And that ball is out of bounds. Red Hawks ball going to be taken by Skylar Steele. Quick throw in up to Mara Allium. The clear right back to Allium, and it's poked out to Skylar Steele. Opening, finds Hayes in the box. Hayes trying to spin around, pulls a shot, and that goes to the left. She's gotten plenty of chances so far tonight, Tom, and now we're under 2 minutes. The clock does not run under 2 minutes, as a reminder, for the refs to keep track of the time, plus stoppage time, as the goal kick is taken by Barr. Brought down with a nice touch from Jazzy Hayes. Back step and back to Ely. Ely can't get it forward to Hayes, and it will be a throw-in taken by her. Time winding down on the first half. Ely winds it up and over the head of Hayes. Out of bounds. Hawks thrown as they inch closer to the box. Ely gets it forward. And on top of it is Allium. Back to Ely. And now the Eagles intercept it. A one-man rush, and she's knocked down hard by a Hawks defender.
Yeah, that was a tough little shove.
Yeah, and now maybe a last-minute opportunity for the Eagles as Addison Barr comes out of the goal to take this free kick from midfield. Barr sends it up into the box, over the head.
Oh, no.
And she's called for a handball off of the header. And it's going to be a free kick. Is going to be a direct free kick, just right, straight shot on the goal in Aylin Shaw. This is a crazy opportunity for the Eagles.
Oh, wow.
And
they're going to call it off. I'm surprised they didn't let them take that.
That is, wow, okay.
Frontier catches a huge break there.
Massive break, and Easthampton in protest. The refs are saying, they're gesturing to their watches saying that time ran out.
Wow.
That might be the explanation. I'm not sure. Hayes looking for an explanation as well, and I really don't have a clear one. I've never seen like that before.
Yeah.
But, all right, we're going to go into the halftime scoreless. Some even chances towards the end of this first half for both teams. And we'll see if the Hawks can capitalize on some long-range chances, and maybe the Eagles will get a few more set plays in the second half. We'll be back in a few minutes. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm still Mason Smith here with Tom Albert and Tyler Wolkowitz. We have 40 minutes left to go in this evening's girls soccer matchup. It is scoreless as we come into the second half, with Frontier having fairly more opportunities in their offensive end than the Eagles have, and the air is starting to get pretty brisk. You can start to see some of the players' breath, actually, if you get the right angle underneath the floodlights.
It's definitely getting a little chillier out here.
Yeah, like we were saying, I think on Tuesday, that was the boys' game. Yeah.
Yep.
Tuesday, we were saying we're going to have to bring out the jackets soon. And Steele makes a nice turn. Can't get the pass off, though, and Fagan's going to have to work her way back. Starting lineup is back out for the Red Hawks. Sent forward to Hayes, just outside the box. Jazzy Hayes looks to pass back, and Robertson is not there. Delisle drops it off. Dorman tried to clear it, but it was brought down by the Red Hawks. And throw goes right back out of bounds off of Easthampton. Ball rolling away from the action as the ref is just holding his hand up. Players are not moving. All right. Yeah, there we go. It's been taking them a while to get the ball back into play on this side of the field because, as we were saying before, we have a ball man all the way on the other side, but not over here. Throw-in goes back to the Eagles. They can't quite clear it out, but they'll get a throw-in in front of the Frontier bench. Dorman will toss it back to Brenna Mayers. And that's O'Neal Garvey, who can't quite get it forward. Up again to O'Neal Garvey. Maury is back there, can't quite make the play, and prevents the corner from being turned. Will be a throw-in, not a throw-in, a corner for Easthampton. I believe they're first of the night for the Eagles.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think they've had one so far, so.
The chance started up for the Red Hawks in the student section, and the hand goes up from Cavalli. It'll be a ground ball, top of the box, and the kick is whiffed, sent up the middle, and cleared out by Claire McFarland. A good recovery from the Hawks defense. And now Fagan on the near side. Might look to turn it offensive. And the pass will stay inbounds, a lucky bounce for the Red Hawks, and Fagan will let it be sent way out of bounds and almost entirely out of the stadium.
Yeah, we keep seeing both teams just get it downfield, and then all of a sudden a defender will just kick it out of bounds to stop the team from advancing.
But now Frontier has a throw-in in their offensive end. Over the head of Fagan, got a chance in front of the goal, and it's over Jazzy Hayes as well. Jumped over two Hawks players who couldn't quite bring it down. And now Easthampton moving it past midfield. Brought down by Robertson. Light touch from the Eagles and some miscommunication. Robertson just staying with it. Could have handed it off to Maury, but she chose not to, and now it's going to end up off the head of Maury. Rupp up to Robertson. Robertson sends it through the middle, and Fagan trying to chase it down, but it's cleared back out to Steele, who brings it down with her chest. Cleared way out. McFarland there. Trying to box out Easthampton, and she draws the foul.
Yep.
Going to be a free kick for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, that was a good call by the ref there.
And we haven't seen it get too physical yet, Tom. Not like the game against Lennox. I got it right this time. not like the game against Lennox. And just as I say that, another body goes to the ground for the Red Hawks. But that game against Lennox for the boys was a pretty rough game, especially physically. Thank you, Tyler. And now a free kick. They got the line at the top of the box. Claire McFarland will take it. Air underneath it, chested down, it's loose. Fagan tips it over, and it's in! What a play from Maddie Fagan! And the Hawks go up 1-0.
Excellent job there by the Red Hawks.
And the refs will let it stand. There was definitely contact between Fagan and Barr in goal, but that was a fair ball to play, and she played it beautifully. That was a wonderful touch, Tom.
Yeah.
And now the Eagles have 35 minutes left, immediately looking to the clock. But now the Hawks looking at the ball. It's Skylar Steele looking to center it. Loose, brought down by Hayes, winds up, takes it, and it bounces into the arms of Addison Barr. And this is what we tend to see from any team that can strike first, even, later in the game. An immediate onslaught of offensive opportunities because they just feel so invigorated.
Yeah, and it gets the adrenaline going.
Absolutely. And now the Eagles will try and turn it around quickly, or at least kill the momentum for the Hawks here. Robertson in midfield. Got some room and some players to work with. Pass to Skylar Steele, who gets it back to Robertson. Loose ball, and cleared out by the Eagles. And that's Addison Morey. Morey passes it back. Ely. Up to Sadie Nichols. Fosno. Some short passes now, taking it a little slow. And to the outside is Rupp, Peyton Rupp. Looking for a lane, and it's poked out from between her legs by Dorman, who sends it forward as she goes down. No call there. She was looking for it. And now she won't be able to get there on the far side. That was Hewitt. We haven't said her name in a while, but she was the big offensive driver for the Eagles in the first half. Sadie Nichols up to Fosno, trying to get it back to Nichols. And it's intercepted, sent back, and now cleared down the field for Easthampton. Sadie up to Steele. Has a little bit of room. Can't quite get there. Ball deflected out and now sent back to midfield. Robertson is there. Calms it down. Control, and now past the defender. Fosno racing for it. She's up against Bach. Wins the battle there and passes it back to Sadie. They won't look for the cross. Back to Fosno, who tries to find Robertson. Is taken away quickly by Delisle. Delisle wins the battle against Sadie, and now it's cleared out by her teammate Simone Young. McFarland takes a hit, and now Hewitt crosses the field. Rupp squaring up against her, and they both go down hard as the ball gets sent out of bounds. Will be an Eagles throw-in, and once again the ball is rolling with no one there to get it. Brian Miller trotting over the ball for Easthampton to recover it. That's their head coach right there. You'd think that we could, maybe we'll have to start making ball boy announcements the same way we used to make chain gang announcements at football, Wind up and the throw from the Eagles. And taken away immediately by Jazzy Hayes. She's speeding down the field, gets all the way to midfield, and a beautiful pass forward. Maddie Fagan just a little bit too far ahead of her, and she gets beaten out by Cavalli, but it will be a Red Hawks throw-in. Subs come in for Frontier. Maggie Nichols and Mara Alliam. Taking a rest is Sadie Nichols and Josie Fosno. Throw in into the Eagles' chest. Wind up from Fagan, who just scored the last goal for the Red Hawks, and the ball will be cleared out of bounds onto the track.
Yeah, about 30 minutes left to go in the game, and Frontier really just needs to hold on to the lead here.
Yeah, and I mean, they seem to be in a perfect position to do so, Tom. They have been offensively dominant for most of this game, and they're showing no signs of slowing down right now. Easthampton has had a few chances, but they've been able to shut them down pretty efficiently. Fagan trying to send it in to steal, and it's headed out. Robertson trying to intercept Delisle, but Delisle works the outside, and it will be an Eagles throw-in on the near side of the field. The coaches have become the de facto ball boys here, and ball stays inbounds and now out on Jazzy Hayes, who thought it was going to land out initially. Throw-in taken by Mayers, and out again on the Red Hawks, this time by Rivard. Mayers once again with the throw-in. Headed out by Hayes, and Morey will take it, chipped up by Fagan. And now back to Addie Ely. Ely up to Fagan. Cross midfield now. The short pass, and intercepted by the Eagles. Ely. Nichols sends it up. And now to the other side of the field, it's Robertson, who spins around, sends it up to Steele, plays it back.
Yeah, Frontier, they've kind of been slowing the game down a little bit, just passing it to the open person.
Absolutely. They're taking the time that they need, and they're taking time off the clock, which is what Easthampton needs. And they're playing the ball really smart right now. They're just having trouble completing their passes still, as Steele can't complete another pass there, which would have been an open shot for Jazzy Hayes, and forces a Red Hawks throw-in from Gianna Cavalli. And Steele prevents the throw-in there. Stays with it. Trying to get around Delisle, or excuse me, that's Dorman. She'll take the throw-in, makes it quick, and it's headed right back out. Relentless to Hayes this time, and she does get the header. Hayes can't bring it down. And Steele stops the clear cold against Dorman, and now it's sent out. And that ball will go out of bounds after a bit of an effort from Hayes to try and keep it in. Sent past midfield, Maggie Nichols. Nichols to the far side, looking for Fagan, and it's a little bit too far. She didn't quite have the angle. And that's Allium, who can't control it there. Will be a Hawks throw, and Ely will take it. Sub coming in for the Red Hawks. Hayes will take a breather as Callie Gifford comes in for her. Score is still 1-0 to the Red Hawks. 26:30 to go. Throw-in finds its way to Maggie Nichols. Passes it back to Fagan. Fagan with the only goal of the game. Centers it to Steele. It's loose in front of the box. Robertson gets there first. Has a little bit of room. Takes to the inside. Sends it forward, and Barr scoops it up.
Yeah, nice save there by Barr.
And now Robertson struggling to get around Delisle, but she sends it forward. Nichols turns on the Jets and forces a throw-in for the Redhawks. And this is the kind of playing that's going to force you into a corner, Tom. I mean, not quite literally a corner on the field, but if you don't have the confidence to stop the ball, turn around, and get a clear out and just kick it, you just have to kick it out of bounds consistently. You know, in that case, I feel like that was the right play. I agree with the choice that the defender made. But in so many other instances, they've just done that when they didn't necessarily need to. But now the Eagles might have an opportunity. Up against Claire McFarland is Hewitt, looking for a centering pass, and it's going to come up way short. Hewitt will end up back with the ball, but loses it to the Red Hawks. Ely helping with the clear there. Sent right back in by the Eagles. Hewitt off of her shoulder, and McFarland clears it back out. Pass back from Nichols. Down the field, looking for Steele, and going to have to trace her steps back a little bit is Gifford. Callie Gifford racing down the near side, a 2-on-1. Can't turn the corner, and that's exactly what I was just talking about. You had a player to your right that was a defender. You could have, you know, with the outside of your foot, just a nice little tap over there, and they can clear it out. But you don't have, you know, the level of confidence in yourself or maybe your team. There's a lot of factors that can go into it. And you feel that you just need to kick it out of bounds again and again and again, and they keep getting these throw-ins here in dangerous positions again and again and again.
Yeah.
And off the face of a defender, up top, maybe a chance for Robertson. Defense closes in quickly, and she sends it wide to the right. It's a shame she couldn't control the ball immediately. She had a clear slot right to the goal.
Yeah, and you've seen in the second half, definitely, Frontier has been more dominant on the ball, and keeping it in the Eagles zone.
Yeah, I mean, Fagan here, off of the goal kick, just immediately getting on top of it and not giving the Eagles any chance to breathe at all, especially their goalie, which is a huge thing. But now the Eagles, with a short pass, will get by one of their defenders. Mayers trying to move it back forward. Will get up to Delisle, back to Mayers, and they can't find the middle. A great stop from Allium. And now Steele, a beautiful ball forward, and Steele looking for the middle. A bad touch, and she loses possession. Robertson can't get there in time. Her and Delisle jostling for it as Delisle is taken out by Robertson. The pitch forward is now blocked on the clear. Brown was blocked by her own teammate, Addie Mori, but a great few touches, and the ball goes out of bounds. That was a great job from Lila Brown to make really something out of nothing there for the Redhawks. Two subs in the wings, Fosno and Sobieski for the Redhawks. 22-20 is what's left in this game. And in the second half, we will have the final 5 minutes played out on the refs' watches instead of on the scoreboard. Cleared out by Maury. Touchdown by Steele. And a nice ball forward. Fagan gets there, gets by a defender. She's all alone, and she'll move it forward. Fagan trying to make something happen. She's still with it. Looking to pass back. It's Steele. Will they cross? She sends it forward, and it's wide to the right. It's a shame. They had Gifford wide on the near side.
Yeah, Frontier had a good opportunity there. They just quite couldn't take advantage of it.
I mean, it was a great job from Fagan. She's been making everything happen tonight offensively for the Redhawks, and she's going to take a well-deserved rest on the bench right now. She's got the only goal of the night for both sides of the field, and she just had, I mean, that whole, chance that the Hawks had was made completely from her. She made that whole thing happen herself, really. And now Nichols centers to Steele. Nice trap, but she loses the ball, and a good clear from Young. Trying to find her way to Hewitt. But McFarland clears it out, settled down by Fosno. Sadie Nichols on the sideline. Both number 24s on the sideline, actually. Sadie Nichols and Mackenzie Coffey. Steele blocks a clear and takes the ball away from Mayers as well. She's been great defensively in the offensive zone tonight. And now making a play is Callie Gifford. Near side. Can she turn the corner? And it will be sent out. Will it be a corner? It will. Corner for the Red Hawks, their first of this half. I believe third or fourth of the game. Fourth of the game. And the subs come in for both teams. Going to take the corner is number 10, Skylar Steele, who's been an outstanding player tonight, making a lot of great defensive plays in their offensive zone. Hand goes up, so does the ball. Headed, it's still up. Hawks come out with possession. They pass it out and will be Eagles ball as Hewitt is taken down by Addie Morey. Under 20 minutes to go. We're 3/4 of the way through the game. Hawks are still up 1-0. Crowd has been quiet for a while now.
Yeah, some of the fans were arguing on that corner that it wasn't exactly a corner, but the ref turned to them and they were like, yes, it is.
I do think it was the right call. I saw the ball go out to the right side of the flag, and that pass will go a little bit too far for Peyton Ulrich. And the throw-in goes Easthampton's way. Brown has to race back into position, covered by Morey. Coffey tries to center it back, but now it goes Frontier's way. Fosno slows it down and now sends it forward, sent right back by the Eagles. Ball jumps up off of the foot of Ely, and now maybe with a chance is Simone Young. Hewitt will come up with it off of a deflection. Tries to pass it back, and it will be turned the other way by Nichols. Maggie Nichols making plenty of room on the far side, and now she'll center it. Steele sees the open man downfield. It's Callie Gifford who receives a check, and the ball will go out of bounds. Frontier throw-in. Exactly what you want to see, and a great job from Gifford to get that wide open. I don't know how the Eagles let her get that wide. There was no one within about 15 feet of her. The throw-in brought down by Hayes. Holds her wrist right afterwards. Rupp deflected off of a shin into the box. And a nice job by Christine Raymond to hold off Maddie Fagan from running into her goalie, who was down on the ground making a nice play. Touch to the outside, and Rupp can't turn it back in. Out of bounds on the Red Hawks. Eagles throwing. 17 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean, the momentum seems to be in Frontier's favor, but
yeah, it's a slow momentum, though. It's a slow grind right now, Tom. And, I mean, Frontier is in charge of it, and they've been dominating. You're right. But they're not necessarily relentless by any means. They're taking up as much time as possible, which is something we were mentioning before. But Maggie Nichols, again, making something happen on the far side, beating her defender yet again. Steele up to Hayes, who makes a nice spin move, opening for Hayes, and it's deflected off of the chest of Raymond. 16 minutes on the clock. Morey slows it down and sends it forward to Rupp, who's on the near sideline. Rupp looking for a pass forward. Sends it into the box. And maybe she was thinking Hayes would make a run for it, which she did not. Punt down the field from Barr. Maury wins the battle there, turns it around, and now Delisle takes it back. Delisle up the gut. Delisle won't get it past McFarland, who taps it over to Maury, who will get called for a foul and a free kick in a great place for the Eagles. And now, as we saw at the end of the first half, this is a little early for this, I feel like. 15 minutes to go, and Addison Barr is coming all the way up, about halfway into the offensive side of the field for the Eagles. There's no one in goal right now. Last line of defense is Christine Raymond, senior defender for the Eagles. Risky play here. Fagan ready to check in on the sideline. The kick comes in, and it's out of bounds. Shaw, it looks like she did touch it.
Yeah, so it'll give the Eagles their second corner of the night.
Yeah. A misstep there from Aylin Shaw. A rare misstep, I'll add. She's been great tonight. Fagan comes in, and so does Robertson. Steele getting a break, and so is Maggie Nichols. Waiting to take the corner for the Eagles, and now the hand goes up. Motion in the box, a line drive of a kick. It's loose and cleared out. Fagan will scoop it up. And now Robertson moving the other way. She'll slow it back down. Delisle intercepts the dribble, and now it's sent back the other way for the Eagles. Maury gets in the way, and Frontiers throw in. A great job defensively, and a lot of credit goes to Carly Robertson on that play, Tom.
Yeah.
Addie Moore to take the throw in deep in the Hawks' own territory. A header from Ryan. The ball will go out of bounds. Easthampton ball. And sub coming in for the Eagles is number 7, Hannah Newman. Ulrich goes to the bench as a throw-in from Raymond finds its way to Delisle. Back to Raymond. Raymond makes a nice cut inside and pitches it forward to Shaw, who makes the easy save. Sounded like a whistle was blown for a moment, but now down goes Hewitt in the box. No whistle blown.
Yeah, about 12 and a half minutes left to go here, so the Eagles have to make something happen soon.
Yeah, really should. Preferably, I mean, sooner than later. You really don't want a last-minute goal. They lost to the Hawks last time they faced them, 3-1. And, I mean, this is the only team that they've lost to. They haven't offensively been a huge challenge for the Hawks back line. I'll say that. But, you know, it hasn't been a walk in the park for the Red Hawks either, you know?
Yeah.
I will say I do think that a lot of that does have to do with some missteps by the Red Hawks. A lot of miscommunication we've seen, some tough passing. And those are some things that, you know, as a team you need to work on, you need to polish up. But at the end of the day, it is Easthampton that is bringing out these qualities in the Red Hawks through pressure, mindset, or otherwise. And you got to give them some credit for that, making this a close game, 1-0. Oh, and a ball straight to the face for Hannah Newman, who just checked in. Not a very welcome greeting.
Yeah.
And now 11 minutes left in the game. 4 forwards, and down she goes. No whistle.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that would be a free kick, the way that the refs have been leaning so far this game. I mean, when a player typically goes down for either team, they've been calling something.
Yeah.
Some kind of stoppage, and now a free kick for the Red Hawks. Going to be taken by Addie Morey. 10:30 to go. Nichols up the middle, and now Robertson stops the clear. Carly Robertson has a lane to pass, and a little too far for Fagan. Finds its way over to Wells. Fosno there too, and out of bounds. Red Hawks ball. Steele will be coming in for, it looks like Wells is coming off. Yeah, Natalie Wells heads to the bench as Skylar Steele takes the field for Frontier. Throw-in into the corner and will be left to go out of bounds.
Yeah, just under 10 minutes left to go. I mean, time is kind of winding down for the Eagles.
Yeah, it's really starting to run short on them, and it's got to be on their minds. I mean, they have a great record this season. They're kind of in the same position with the Hawks, where they faced some easier teams, and a strike from Maddie Fagan is blocked by the shoulder of Raymond. So they're ranked 37th in Division 4 right now. Hawks are ranked 34th. So every win really counts, in the position that they're in.
Yeah.
Corner kick taken by Robertson. Wind up. Oh, and a save. Addison Barr.
Yeah,
that was a great job.
Save.
Yeah. And a great strike, too, from Morey. She had a great chance on that volley and placed it almost perfectly. I mean, she obviously would have preferred it to be a little bit to the right or left, maybe not a straight shot at Barr, but you never know. And now Fosno on the far side, taken out by Raymond. And this is the kind of defense that we haven't been seeing from the Eagles, but now it's sent right back into the box. Hayes, maybe with a chance, keeps it alive. Hayes being shut down on a double team and got no help from her teammates there. Down goes Steele, and a free kick for the Red Hawks.
And now under 8 minutes left to go.
It's really getting close. Hand goes up from the Red Hawks. There's some air underneath that one. Brought down by Fagan. Punched out, Rupp, and that's off the side of her face. The clear not there. Fagan picks it up. Fagan top of the box, and again off of the face of a defender. And Barr gets in the right place quick enough to make the stop. Closing in on 7 minutes to go.
It's not looking good for the Eagles. I mean, it's really been Frontier that is capitalizing right now.
They really have. Every time that the Eagles have had the ball in the Red Hawks' defensive end of the field, and look at this feed. Fosno to the middle. Fagan, oh my goodness, what a play. And a great save from Barr. That was beautiful.
Yeah, very well executed there by the Hawks.
But every time the Eagles have seemed to have a chance in their offensive end, it hasn't really been possessed for more than 20 seconds, really, before the Hawks are able to just jump on top of it. And you see here some nice, quick passes, getting right past the forwards, and Rupp's able to slow it down, send it up the middle, and the pass will be intercepted. And that's been the Hawks' downfall in this whole game. That's, I think, big reason. They've had chances. We just saw a great chance there, and plenty of credit to Addison Barr. But that's one of the big reasons why the Hawks don't have more on the board right now. McFarland with a soft touch to throw off the striker, and now it's sent back in deep, headed forward by Morey. Sadie Nichols, and now McFarland clears it out. Back pass and Young can't quite get there before McFarland. This is exactly what I was talking about. They have a chance, they sputter out, and the Hawks can just clear it out with ease. Now Fagan turning on the Jets, can't quite get there, and it's sent out of the track and into the stands. Great catch made by one of the fans here in the front row seat. Going to be a Hawks throwing on the near side right in front of their bench, and now we have 5:30 on the clock.
Yeah, the Eagles really need to pull something together pretty quickly here.
Yeah. And there hasn't been a lot of hope to do that. As we were saying, the Hawks have been so dominant, especially, and not just in their offensive end, in midfield. That is really where the domination part comes in. If you can control the ball well at midfield, you're giving the other team no chance to possess it and move it forward into their offensive end. And the Hawks have been doing that so well throughout this whole game. Now we're under 5 minutes, and the clock has stopped on the scoreboard. Only the refs know exactly when it'll end. Coming back onto the field perhaps as a last-ditch effort for the Eagles is Ariana Hewitt. As Fosno chases the ball down, will be a corner kick for the Red Hawks. Hewitt waiting to be called back in by the refs.
And this will be Frontier's 5th of the game for their corners. So.
Like we've been saying, they've had plenty of chances, but only been able to capitalize on one so far. But here comes the drive in, and the header from Hayes is just a little bit too far gone from the post, but it is a field goal. Timeout going to be called by Easthampton. Second of the game from the Eagles, as they are running out of time and chances to tie this game back up. It's 1-0 and under 5 minutes to go in favor of the home team. We'll be back in just a few minutes. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. We have under 5 minutes to go, well under 5 minutes now, in this girls soccer matchup. Hawks are up 1-0 against the Easthampton Eagles. Taking the goal kick is Barr. Move back offensively by Skylar Steele for the Red Hawks, up to Hayes. Jazzy Hayes spins around, comes right back up from a slip, and she's taken down hard. Going to be a free kick for the Red Hawks, and she smiles to herself knowing this is taking off some precious time for the Eagles. Wall set up, and Robertson will wait a little bit longer. Everyone taking their time to get in position. And now she asks for the ref to verify the wall. Robertson, hand goes up, sent towards the goal, and barely over the crossbar. Directionally perfect, but just a little bit too much power on it. That would have landed right in the top corner if it had been a little bit of a softer kick.
And I don't know exactly how much time is left, Mason, but it's definitely not a lot. So.
No. The Eagles are incredibly short on time right now. They need to make something happen immediately. And there's no hustle on the field that we're seeing from them. I mean, everyone except Hewitt, who's sprinting after the ball right now, has almost seemed to resign. And a free kick is given as Rupp will shove Hewitt. Hurrying it up is the Eagles. Sent down the field by Raymond. Maybe their last chance to tie this game up. It finds its way into the box. Hewitt with an open shot, and she sends it through the uprights.
The field goal is good.
And Rupp is on the play again. Plenty of Easthampton parents upset with that. She was the one who just shoved Hewitt. And now Frontier taking their time once again. That was as good of a chance as any for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were going to score in the last moments of this game, that was when they were going to do it. But now they might have another chance. Refs looking at their watches periodically. And the throw-in for the Eagles will be intercepted by Fosno. First Allium, and now throw-in goes the Hawks' way as the ball rolls away from Fosno. She's in no rush to get there.
There's probably not a lot of time left. I mean,
It seems to always drag on for so long, especially in a game that's this close, a 1-goal difference. Robertson up to Fosno as she intercepted a pass from the Eagles, and now it goes back the other way. Pass forward, they're looking for Hewitt. They can't get it to her. Hewitt, their big playmaker, just can't seem to find the ball in these late minutes, and I thought that was the whistle, but no, it'll be a free kick for Easthampton on the far sideline. He looked like he was ready to give the signal.
Yeah, this really could be the last opportunity of the game right here.
No, not a free kick. He called it out of bounds. That was what the whistle was for. And now that goes out of bounds. Easthampton ball again. Everyone just waiting on the signal for the refs. Looking at their clocks again. Over to Hayes for the Redhawks. Up to Robertson. Delisle turns it around. She's been a big force in this game too, and she gets taken down by Carly Robertson. Free kick for the Eagles. Rushing forward. Now coming up is Barr to take it. Barr repositioning the ball. It was a lot closer, I will give her that. And now sends it forward, aiming straight for the goal. And, a save from Shaw. It almost jumped over her. And that's the game. Last minute save to ensure the victory for the Red Hawks by the freshman Aylin Shaw, who wins the battle of the goalies against the senior Addison Barr. And the Hawks will go 2-0 on the season against the Easthampton Eagles. Well, in a game that seemed to be slowing down for almost the entire second half, that was an exciting way to finish, Tom.
Yeah, that was a very, very close at the end.
And as the teams will line up for the handshake, we will be signing off in just a moment, but we would like to remind you that tomorrow we have another stream, our fourth of the week, this time for football, what students here are calling the Super Bowl. It's Frontier against Commerce. Frontier, the bottom-ranked team in Division 8, and Commerce, the bottom-ranked team in Division 7, playing to see who just might be the worst in the state. And I'm not joking. I'm not even joking about that. That is what the rankings are telling us. So be sure to tune in for what's sure to be a very close game, albeit very exciting in its own kind of way. In any case, the final score of this game here tonight, 1-0, Hawks on top. They move to 10-1 on the season. We'll see how this victory advances their power rankings. I've been Mason Smith here with Tom Albert and Tyler Wolkowitz. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. You've been watching Frontier Community Access Television. Good night.